we are. We are live on Facebook. So welcome everybody and welcome to CDNY Live. And I would like to invite our band, Rachel Bell and Karen Axelrod, to play. They are the band Peregrine Road and they have some great tunes for us. So take it away, Rachel and Karen. Thank you, Karen and Rachel. That was fantastic. Do you have another tune, or is that's you do? Then I'll stop talking. Thank you so much, Karen and Rachel. That was totally beautiful, and what a mellow, wonderful way to start our evening of CDNY Live. So for those of you who just came on, Karen Axelrod and Rachel Bell of Peregrine Road are joining us tonight as our featured band, and they've just played two tunes by Rachel called, wait, I have them right here. Oh no, I can't. Sweet Mira and Where We Left Off. So Rachel Bell wrote both of those tunes, and we'll certainly hear more from them as the evening progresses. So anyway, everyone, welcome to CDNY Live. I'm Cynthia Shaw. Tonight we have a wonderful duo, Karen Axelrod and Rachel Bell from Peregrine Road joining us. Additionally, Maggie Bai will teach us how to mend a sock, and she will also lead us in a song just a little bit later. Our other musical guests tonight will be Dominique Gagne and on flute and Chip Prince on piano. CDNY Live is sponsored by Country Dance New York and performs on the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. You can find the schedule on the CDNY calendar at cdny.org, where you will always find the Zoom link for the performance. And you can also make contributions to CDNY for this program and many other programs. During our show, our technical director, Galen Kirkpatrick, will be muting everyone and highlighting the performers. And just so you know, we're live streaming on Facebook, where this performance will be archived. If you're on Zoom and you're having any trouble on the platform, please just put something in the chat box and someone will help you. Speaking of the chat box, which is located in the lower center of the Zoom screen, feel free to comment there during the show. Everybody can talk during the show. And if you see someone's name there who you haven't seen for a long time, well, send them a private chat. It's really lovely in this time of us all being separated to reach out and say hello to people that we haven't seen for a long time. And people truly appreciate that. So definitely do that. As the evening progresses, if you have any questions for the performers or anything, just type them in the chat box and we will read them later in the evening. Now, for the fun stuff. Since the weather is finally getting warm and spring is over and things are starting to open up, it would be really fun if people posted in the chat box what they are doing, if they have any vacations or trips planned for the next couple of months. So if you have something planned, please write it down, tell everybody what it is, and later in the program, I'll read what people say that they are doing. So enjoy that. All right, now I'd like to invite our sock mending singer, and you'll learn more about that later, Maggie Bai, to lead us in a song called Ilkley Moor together. We're not going to put lyrics up because you have probably heard this song, and if you haven't, well, you'll catch on really quickly. It's a lovely song. We are all muted at this point, so we're going to stay muted and let Maggie lead us in the song. So Maggie, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. So I'll just tell you one thing, which is Ilkley Moor, one of the moors in Yorkshire, and Batat means without your hat on. And that's about all you really need to know in terms of the lyrics. And please sing any part that sounds good to you. So, where hast thou been since I saw thee? I saw thee on Ilkley Moor, Batat. Where hast thou been since I saw thee? Where hast thou been since I saw thee without thy trousers on Ilkley Moor, Batat? On Ilkley Moor, Batat? On Ilkley Moor, Batat? I've been a-courtin' Mary Jane, Mary Jane, on Ilkley Moor, Batat. I've been a-courtin' Mary Jane. I've been a-courtin' Mary Jane without my trousers on Ilkley Moor, Batat. On Ilkley Moor, Batat. On Ilkley Moor, Batat. There thou shalt catch thy death of cold, on Ilkley Moor, Batat. There thou shalt catch thy death of cold. There thou shalt catch thy death of cold without thy trousers on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then we shall have to bury thee on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then we shall have to bury thee. Then we shall have to bury thee without thy trousers on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then worms shall come and eat thee up on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then worms shall come and eat thee up. Then worms shall come and eat thee up without thy trousers on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then ducks shall come and eat up worms on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then ducks shall come and eat up worms. Then ducks shall come and eat up worms without thy trousers on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then us'll come and eat up ducks, up the ducks, on Ilkley Moor Batot. Then us'll come and eat up ducks. Then us'll come and eat up ducks without their trousers on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot. That's how we get our loved ones back on Ilkley Moor Batot. That's how we get our loved ones back. That's how we get our loved ones back without their trousers on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot, on Ilkley Moor Batot.
Thank you, Maggie. It's so refreshing to know how we get our loved ones back. So thank you so much for that. I think my favorite verse is the one about the worms. Wait, what is that? The worms?
Worms will come and eat thee up. I left out the one where, and that's how he dies, because he's out there without his hat and trousers on. So.
Oh, so now we know if you're outside, don't go out with your hat and trousers, or the worms will eat you up. Anyway, thank you so much, and we will talk later. All right, but thank you so much for leading us in song. I love it. So now I would like to introduce our band again, Peregrine. Karen Axelrod and Rachel Bell are a power duo capable of an incredible range of styles. They perform energetic Celtic reels, heartbreakingly beautiful waltzes, mesmerizing French village dance tunes, lively originals, as we heard at the very beginning, elegant English country dance tunes, and tasty blues riffs, and more. So, they have a set for us right now. It's a tune by Rachel and a tune by Karen and a traditional tune. The first tune is Austin by Rachel. The second one is Han Ter Dro, a beret by Karen Axelrod. And then the third one is Bar Bar, one of my absolute favorite English country dance tunes. And if you guys want to say something about the tunes before you play, that would be quite lovely, or you can just play the tunes and we can talk later. So I give it to you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thanks for having us. We're so delighted to be all the way in New York City, and we did not have to drive or find a parking space. It's amazing. So we're going to play Austin, which is a tune I wrote about one of my favorite hiking spots in Brattleboro, just up the street from here. Thank you. So we're gonna play next a couple of French ball folk tunes. Actually, the first one is a Breton style tune. The dance is a hanterdro. If any of you have ever tried that kind of dance, it's a dance from Brittany that's done in long lines or circles or spirals, with like very simple footsteps. So the whole idea of the dance is this feeling of kind of sinking into a groove, very trance-like. And the second tune is a bourrée, which is a type of dance from central France. And they are tunes by Karen. You want to?
I won't say anything because I had to move it down.
Because you had to move it down.
Unless
Karen.
I'm not going to say anything because it's rather a yoga contortion that I have to do to get down here.
Maybe after we play them, you can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it's a cool.
Yes.
Karen had a cool way of writing these tunes.
We can actually hear her fine from where she's at.
Thank you. Now do you want to say?
I do.
Okay, good.
Oh. So people take inspiration from various things for tune writing. The inspiration for that was when I was in France the past few years, pre-pandemic. I would be in a train station and the SNCF, the train little jingle before they announce where a train is going, it had 4 specific notes. So when I would be doing my hiking, I would be thinking of those 4 notes and forming tunes based on those notes. So it's the SNCF Hanterdro. And now a favorite English country dance tune of ours, Bar a Bar.
Thank you so much, guys. That was so, so beautiful. And I love ending with the haunting bar a bar, which such a magical tune. So thank you for doing that. And I love your two original tunes. And now I'm going to think about the French little train things. That's it.
I forgot what the fourth note is.
Anyway, thank you so much. I just want to read so everyone knows just a little bit about you two. You both are actually in Brattleboro, Vermont right now. Rachel, you moved there first, and then Karen just most recently moved there, and then they like became a little pod because they could play music together and they're within walking distance of each other, right?
We became a semi-pod.
A semi-pod.
You notice we're still masked.
Oh, you're still masked. So you're like a half pod or something.
It's like it's like semi-Fredo except a semi-pod.
I love that. I love that. So Rachel, you've been spending all your time doing gigs, online gigs, and teaching accordion and looking for waterfalls. I like that. And then Karen, you just got a new dog, which you've been walking all over the place, and you have your weekly Tuesday night performances, which are very, very popular. So why don't you tell everybody about those, because those are so fantastic.
Okay, I'll tell everyone about my dog. Oh, you mean
you could talk about your dog, but also your Tuesday. I'm giving you a plug here, so take it.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, so I started a show at the beginning of the pandemic where I have bandmates and other musicians send in audio, and then I play on the show live, sort of in the moment, unrehearsed. So it's not meant to be a concert, but just sort of a improvisatory surprise of what's going to happen. It's usually English country dances and waltzes, sometimes contra dances, sometimes original tunes. So it's really fun for me, and it's mostly fun for the audience because they chat in Facebook and they talk about where they're going to sit and what they're having for dinner, and if the tempo we played is too slow or too fast for dancing. Anyway, it's become this big community, which I love. So.
And you actually have a very loyal following. It's every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock
Eastern.
In,
okay.
Some other country.
Somewhere.
6 o'clock somewhere.
If we go to Chicago. So anyway, so that's really fantastic. So are you going to continue that?
I will continue it until I don't. Probably until I'm gigging again out in the real world. So probably will continue for a while longer. Yes.
And Rachel, how was it for you when Karen appeared in Brattleboro?
Oh, it's the best thing ever. It's the best. Now we can text each other and we say, "I'll be right over," and that's like one of our favorite things to say. It's really great.
I love that. But what do you do if she brings a pickle into the car?
I kick her out of the car, in fact. So when we were touring a lot, that was one of the band rules, that she was not allowed to eat pickles in the car.
Rachel doesn't like the smell of pickles in the car. So she's really happy for the pandemic because we haven't driven anywhere. So she doesn't have to cope with the fact that I might open a jar of dilly beans or pickles.
It'll be outside
on
anyways.
A long car ride.
I mean,
yeah, it'll be outside.
I know myself that whenever I go into a car, I always bring a jar of pickles. So I understand the problem.
Yeah, it's like bring a mask, pickles. Yeah, I always bring a mask and pickles.
Anyway, thank you, and we will hear more from you guys later. But I'm gonna move on for a second. So thank you for that beautiful music.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see what everybody said they're gonna do. If they're gonna go on a little trip, I'm just gonna read some things. Let's see. Wait, I went all the way back. Oh, Dan went to Duxbury, Vermont. That's pretty lovely. The Adirondacks. I love it. So I posted that David and I were going to Colorado tomorrow to visit my mom, and Dorothy got confused and thought I was traveling with Jeff Barry, which I don't know, maybe sometime I will. I don't know. But tomorrow it's with David. So yeah, so all sorts of fun things, Cape Breton. Anyway, so you all can look at the chat and see what everybody said that they were be doing. All right, so we got to hear Maggie Bai teach us a song, which was just so fun. And now I'd like to introduce her because we have some videos that Maggie has sent us about how to mend a sock. Now, how I mend a sock is throw it in the trash can, but obviously Maggie does not do that.
No.
So she has a bigger plan. So Maggie, formerly of New York, now lives in where do you live now?
Albany.
In Albany, so not too far. Anyway,
Right.
so Maggie, tell us, how did you learn how to darn socks?
I asked
Men's socks.
Well, my mom taught me how to darn socks, and I had originally offered to show people how to darn socks, but I realized that it's not hard, but it's time consuming. And so I chose to show you how to mend a sock because it was a lot quicker. But I can recommend there are a number of videos on YouTube that you can check out and learn how to darn socks. And there are a number of different approaches. One guy's inventive one was to take a baby sock and put it over your big toe and then put your sock on with the hole where the big toe was.
Well, a few weeks ago or months ago, or I don't even know how long ago it was, we had Glenn Doherty on and he taught us how to make a darning egg.
Ah,
So yes, so
perfect.
the darning egg would go with mending socks. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's watch your first video. So Galen, why don't you play our first video of Maggie showing us how to mend a sock?
Hello, everybody, and I'm going to talk today a little bit about darning and mending. And to do real darning takes a long time. It's not difficult, but it is time consuming. And an example of something that really needs to be darned would be this lovely sock with the giant hole in the heel. So one way to deal with this is just wear a pair of liner socks under your heavy socks. And that's why this hole is this big. So you need to have a needle. You need to have a pair of scissors, but they could be any type of scissors. You can even use a nail clipper in an emergency. You can use any thread, but the best thing to use is actual mending yarn. And this can be bought new in yarn shops. I don't know if they all carry it, but a number of them do. And it comes in a variety of colors, but I will say buy whatever you can find. These I got at thrift shops because I know I'm going to use it at some point. And the thing about it is it's a little bit stretchy, which is the best thing about mending yarn. So that when you're putting it across a piece of fabric in your sock where you're going to move, it's not going to break because it's too tight there. So that's mending yarn. It's extra thin compared to most yarn, so you're going to be able to get it through the eye of a needle when you want to use a smaller needle like this one, which is what I'd like to use. And so I've got this one threaded, and then I'm going to make a knot at the other end. I'm going to do it twice to be sure it doesn't slip through the fabric of the sock.
I think that's the end, right?
Yes,
part one, right?
part one.
All right. So we'll learn more as time goes on. So thank you, Maggie. And I was very pleased to see that one of the yarn products that you bought was actually by a manufacturer named Cynthia. So
Yes.
I feel very, very honored. So thank you for buying that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So we're on to the Oompa part of our program, the Order of Musical Professionals and Heroes. So we have an Oompa video. It's coming from somewhere. And so I was coming from Dominique. She's putting the Oompa video on, and I know what might be in the Oompa video, but I'm not going to say because I want it to be a big surprise. So take it away, Dominique.
Okay, so I'm going to chat a little bit while I do the share screen because I am being trained on this, of course, from Galen. Galen, can you hear me? Because I don't see
Yes.
the stereo thing. Is it under advanced?
No, there's a little drop down next to share sound.
Yeah, there's not one on mine, unfortunately.
There you see the share sound checkbox?
I do.
There's no drop down next to it?
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer. It doesn't matter for right now. We'll troubleshoot in a little bit.
Okay. All right, so I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right. So. Okay. Is that good? Should I hit play?
Can you make it full screen?
Yeah, can you maximize?
Not sure how to do that. Let's see. I'm in QuickTime.
It's in view.
It's in view. Oh, I see. Yeah. Enter full screen. There it is. Great. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so I didn't have much time to put this together, but the internet has a lot of great accordion. I just typed in funny accordion stuff and wow.
That's very, very fun. And I think that it counters all of those horrible accordion jokes that you hear about, right? Throwing the accordion into the river or whatever. What's the best thing for accordion? I think my favorite one of that was was the accordion is my only friend.
Right.
I don't know. Rachel and Karen, do you understand? Does that ring true for you guys? maybe not.
They're muted.
So that was fantastic. That was very, very fun. So thank you for putting that together. I really
Sure.
like that.
I apologize for the lateness. I had the most incredible challenges with my computer because of storage issues, and I was talking to Apple up until 2 in the morning. But in the end, I have 2 videos to share with you today. So
there you go. Excellent. So thank you for sharing the accordion video. That was a really fun Oompa. So in case people don't know, Oompa stands for the Order of Musical Professionals and Heroes. So that was our Oompa video. I'd like to take a moment to thank CDNY for supporting this program and many other CDNY programs that are happening as the pandemic is around us. And that if you would like to make a donation to CDNY, that would be ever so lovely. And I'm sure that Annie or Galen would love to put the CDNY link into the chat, and you can make a donation. You can donate generously and often. All right, so let's see what's happening with that mending that sock. Let's see where Maggie is right now with mending the sock.
I'm going to use this sharp tip needle because I do want to actually go through and pierce through the fabric of my sock. So it has a much smaller eye to get that yarn through, which is why having this mending yarn is much better. It's easier to get that in there, and it won't be thick, so you won't feel a funny lump in your shoe or on your toe. Okay, so got my sock, got my darning egg, slip the egg into the sock, and then you can see where you've got that hole. So I've got the darning egg inside the sock, and I've got my needle at the ready. The one thing that you want to do is put a knot into the end of the thread. And I find this is the easiest way to do it. I'm going to do it again to make it a little bit bigger. loop it around and use the needle to pull the end through. So nice knot. Okay, so you're going to start at one end, and you don't want to get too close to the edge of where it's open, the hole. You want to be a little bit farther so that it won't run like a run in a pair of nylons. And if I were doing traditional darning, I would leave a space, but I'm actually pulling these two ends together to close the gap. And some people like to do this from the inside out because the inside is next to your foot. I like to do it on the outside of the sock, so the knot is on the outside and you won't feel it at all. And again, on the other end, go a little bit past where the hole was. And I'm going to set this down to make a knot. And again, I'm holding it with these two fingers to make a loop. I put my finger over where the knot will be to make it be as close to the fabric as possible. And there it is. All I have to do is snip off that extra. Ta-da!
Wow, that's very impressive. Maggie, do you think that you could post your address in the chat and everybody can send you their socks? You could have
No,
like a
thank
whole
you.
you could have a whole cottage industry of darning mending everyone's socks for them.
I still have 4 more here to do myself.
Well, I'm so glad that we gave you the opportunity in this video to mend one of them.
Indeed.
So thank you very, very much. All right. So Rachel and Karen, Karen Axelrod has actually been running marathons, and she's run a marathon in every single state in the country, which I think is an amazing thing. She states, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but she states that she came last in 2 of them, but I'm sure that that was just a mistake.
It was a mistake to be last. No, it was true. I did come in last. And I don't think I said that I've run marathons in every state. I think I said I've done marathons. And some of them were not really running. They were like walking, jogging, sauntering, moving at a fast clip, moving at a slow clip. But it has been in every state. And they were regular running marathons. But I didn't run the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I can certainly identify with that. And if you run the New York City Marathon when you come in 4th Avenue, you can just get on the subway and hop right the subway.
Yes. Just call me Rosie. Just call me Rosie Ruiz. Yeah. I'm over my marathon carear. I'm done with that career. It paid a lot, and I'm done.
Yeah.
My sponsors have given up on me.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I have to say, you guys, that one of the things that you told me was in your careers as musicians that between the 2 of you, you have owned 13 accordions, which I think is
more, maybe.
I think we've had 13 at one time between us, but we've owned many more than that.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty impressive. So,
or not.
Or stupid, I don't know.
Anyway, so why don't you play some more tunes for us? I see that you're going to play Mrs. Fearnow's Brunswick Stew by Rachel, and a Circassian Circle tune from the band Stern, Hudson Barn, which I believe was put together by Jacqueline Schwab, whatever that word is, I'm not using the right word, and then another tune by Rachel called Matching Shoes. So take it away.
I think we should play a sock tune instead of shoes. Why didn't we play? We should have played. We have one sock tune. Ransom note, kind of. sock mending thing is so cool. I love it. What a great idea. I'm also really glad that you all are dealing with the pickles thing in the chat. I saw that there were lots of some discussion about that. So it's good that you're all getting that all sorted out. I'm going to play Mrs. Fear Now's Brunswick Stew. You can all maybe have a conversation in the chat about what Brunswick Stew is. I had to look it up. But I was playing a gig once, and there was a tower of cans of Mrs. Fear Now's Brunswick Stew in the green room, which seemed like a hilarious thing to have in the green room. So that's why that tune came about.
I just want to say something about Rachel's tunes. Rachel writes the best tunes, and some of you might already know this, but she has a tune book that is going to be coming out, and you can buy it. And even if you are not a musician, you will love reading the little blurbs she has written about each tune. So if you go to her Facebook page or her website, you'll find out on Bandcamp. It's going to be available for pre-sales, and on pre-sales Bandcamp Friday, the first Friday of every month, you can buy it. You can buy it anytime. So it'll be coming out probably like in print within a few months. Yeah, anyway, it's great. Her tunes are great. And now we will play Hudson Barn, reconstructed by Jacqueline Schwab and Charles Hammond. And I love that Cynthia couldn't think of a word, because I can never think of any word. You want to start without me?
Thank you. We're going to play one more. This is our tune called Matching Shoes, but tonight we're going to call it Matching Socks. Just for the special occasion. Thank you so much, you CDNY people, for doing this cool thing, like variety show. What an awesome idea for the pandemic. So it's been really fun to be here with you tonight, and thanks for all the work, Cynthia and Dominique and Galen and Chip, all the people who've contributed things. It's been really fun. So yeah, Matching Shoes. I wrote this tune for Karen. Because at one point we had matching shoes. We don't anymore, but maybe if we knew how to repair shoes like repairing socks, we would. Let's see here. Should we turn down the light? Thank you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That was so hauntingly beautiful. That was really, really so lovely. Thank you guys so much. Wow.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us here down in the Big Apple. And you're right, it's great. You can just be up there and still play here. So it's kind of fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
No parking spaces necessary.
Thank you,
Yeah.
CDNY. Really, really great show. Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome. And I want to remind everybody that Jeff posted in the chat the link to CDNY if you would like to donate, because believe it or not, these shows actually cost CDNY money. So it would be lovely if people did that. Even $5 or $10 is fantastic. Now, we may think that we've seen the end of the mending the socks, but we have one more video from Maggie to find out. I don't know what's going to happen with this sock, but let's find out.
People like to darn socks because they were a special pair of socks that somebody made for them, or they bought them somewhere special, or they're just really expensive socks. When I started knitting, I met people who made socks by the dozens, and they would get a hole in their sock and say, "Oh, darn," and just make another sock. But to me, that would be an awful lot of work to then throw away. So some socks I would just take and wear a liner sock underneath it because I don't need to have double layer at my heel. That's not what's going to be cold on my foot. The other thing that I will say is that you can look at socks more often, and like this one, when you notice it's getting very thin, is to add some stitching in there, some actual darning before there's a hole to make it last longer. Some knitters actually knit socks that have double heels, so that this is taken care of in advance. The most innovative approach, I think, was my sister, who, when she found she had a pair of socks that were getting holy, is she actually just made the hole bigger, and she made me a pair of wrist warmers by adding another hole in the other sock. So she just took a hole where the heel was, cut off part of the toe, and then you can't really see it, but she's done a row of stitching so that it won't unravel around each of those holes. So I have a pair of wrist warmers out of a pair of old socks. A lot of people don't know that the textile industry is the second most polluting in the world after oil production. So using fabric and clothing and getting as much of it as possible is fabulous because it saves resources too. And a dancer on the West Coast, Mark Gallipo, does wood turning, and he makes some beautiful darning eggs, and they're available on Etsy. So if you want to get one there, also there are lots of other types of darning eggs and discs available online, or, you know, check out your local thrift shop.
Thank you, Maggie. That was great, and I love that, and I love that you have hand warmers out of socks. So I think
that was my sister's really creative innovation. She's really good.
That's very fun. Remember when people used to make sock monkeys?
Oh yeah,
make old socks and make these monkeys out of them. And I think they were the gray socks that had the red and the white. Maybe they were some sort of industrial sock that men wore to work, to like construction jobs. Anyway, but I remember sock monkeys.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
you can still get a kit and do those. Yeah.
And I believe that Annie had someone had posted in the chat also the Etsy link for Mark is his name.
Yep. Mark's shop.
Yeah,
Mark
who has the Etsy website. So darning eggs. So if you want to try your own darning, you just get a darning egg and some yarn and go to town now that you know how to do it.
Yeah, and go to
But
Mark's.
you don't have to wait. Yeah. You don't have to wait until you have a darning egg. I said before I had one, I used a tomato paste can, something small. It just has to be something firm so that you're not digging your needle into that when you just want to get the thread through the sock. So
or you don't want to put it in something that you actually sew the sock to that thing.
Right, exactly. That would be the other thing you don't want to do.
Exactly. Anyway, so thank you for sharing that special skill with us. You've inspired a bunch of people to mend their socks. So thank you.
Dancers need good socks.
Indeed, indeed. So we are at the end of our evening. It's hard to imagine, but here we are. I'd like to have a final look ahead. Next Thursday on CDNY Country Dance Lore is a program called the New York Playford Ball. And longtime dancer and contra caller and CDNY board member Marty Fager, who was one of the earliest organizers and troubleshooters of the New York Playford Ball, is going to be working with ECD caller and longtime organizer Sharon Green, who used to live in New York but now lives in California. And they're going to review venues, ball booklets, MCs, dance programs, and other facets of the balls of yesteryear. with pictures and shared remembrances from as early as 1985. So that should be a really wonderful program about Playford Ball in New York. And Marty and Sharon, I'm sure, will be lively hosts, so do not miss that. That's next Thursday at 7:30. And then in 2 weeks, we have CDNY again at 7:30. And in 2 weeks, that's April 22nd, we will have swing music and klezmer fest featuring Danny Elias and Marco Brem. So that should be a really great music program. So mark your calendar. You can find all of the links for these programs on the cdny.org website. That's how you find the Zoom link. You can find the invitations for these programs on Facebook if you ever want to share. They're always up there on Facebook. And if you want to check the videos of a show that you saw and you're like, oh, I forgot about that, I want to hear that tune again, everything is archived on the CDNY website. So you can find all of the CDNY Live and the Country Dance Lore there. I'd like to thank our guests tonight, Karen Axelrod and Rachel Bell of the band Peregrine Road, our sock mender, Maggie Bai and singer, and our musicians, Dominique Gagne and Chip Prince, who you will hear in just a minute. I'd also like to thank our producers, Annie Eden and Dominique Gagne, and of course, Country Dance New York, and our technical director, Galen Kirkpatrick, without whom we could do nothing. So, and especially thanks to many our donors and sponsors. Now we have a final dance party video. It's of Rachel and Karen and Chip and Dominique are going to be playing, and they're playing tunes called Robin's Walls, and Walls is in parentheses, W-A-L-S, from Blowzabella by John Swain, arranged by Gonoglis and adapted by Rachel. So we hope you enjoy this recording of these wonderful dance tunes, and if they make you feel like getting up and dancing, well then definitely get up and dance. So enjoy this final dance party.
Hold on, let me just unmute in case I need to ask something of Galen. Okay, so quick time, and now I know to go to view, fit to screen. All right, here we go.
I mean, can we see it? Can you share your video too?
Okay, hold on. Ah! Hold on. Okay, what am I doing wrong?
Go to share screen.
Okay, share screen.
Pick the.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
There we go.
Thing. Okay. So view is okay. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Let's try it again.
what fun that was. I love that. That was really great. I felt like I was in a French bistro or something, hearing all this fantastic Parisian music or something, which is probably not what I was supposed to think. But anyway, that was fantastic, you guys. That was really great. And Chip, how fun to see you playing two instruments at the same time. So thank everybody tonight for coming to CDNY Live. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad everybody was here. I hope you all had a great time. Please come back next Thursday to hear about Playford Ball, and then in 2 weeks for another CDNY Live with klezmer and all sorts of great music. So thank you all.